We're live here on your number one station for dark contemporary R&B, Hot 92.3. It's the Inspirational Love Hour. Listen, it's your boy Jay Shay. We are live here in the radio station. And listen, we got some special guests in here. But before we get to that, before we let y'all know who we got in here with us today, we got to do how we always do, how we start off, and it goes a little something like this. Father God, I pray that you bless every listener tuning in. I pray that this show helps jumpstart their week, that this week brings good news, overflow, peace in their home, joy in their spirit, and love in their hearts. I thank you in advance for everything that you're going to do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. All right, so listen, y'all. Before I introduce you all, there's a thing that we do. It's an affirmation, right? I need you guys. I'm gonna say it, and everybody in Radio Land then repeat after me. Okay? It goes like this: Great things are meant to happen to me.
Great things are meant to happen to me.
My life is amazing.
My life is amazing.
I can achieve any goal I set.
I can achieve any goal I set.
The grace to be wealthy is on my life.
The grace to be wealthy is on my life.
The grace to be healthy is on my life.
The grace to be healthy is on my life.
This will be one of my best weeks yet.
One of my best weeks.
That's it. Then we affirm it like that.
All right.
So we're going to introduce our guest for today for Money Talk Sunday. Listen, I'm excited, y'all. We got a great show that we got ahead of us today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of information to cover. Make sure that you have your pens and papers together. It will be on YouTube later, probably about a week from now. I got Midwest in the building. We're going to get us right. So we're going to start off. We're going to let the ladies start first. Mrs. Cam Selby, will you talk to people and just tell them your name and what you do?
Sure, I'm Cam Selby. In addition to being an executive in corporate America, I own several businesses, all of them real estate focused, right? I'm a licensed real estate agent, and partnering with my husband, we build custom houses. We build dreams beyond four walls. So I'm excited to be here with you today, Shay.
Yes, I'm happy you guys are in the building. And Mr. Selby, Mr. Julian Selby, the builder. Talk to the people.
Julian Selby here. It's good to be here. We've been I've been in the building trade for over 30 years. Currently, right now, we are, as my wife said, we're a custom builder, a boutique custom builder.
Okay.
We also have a real estate, as far as a realtor business as well, Restore Vision Realty, and we also supply other builders. So I've been in a vendor for other distributors across seas as well as here in the States, and I supply a lot of building materials to contractors up north in the DC area, Delaware, Pennsylvania area right now, and locally.
That's so good. And then my main man JD, he's a repeat offender here on the show, right? We got this. So before I let him introduce himself, me and JD got together, and he was talking to me, and we said, man, let's start doing something once a month to kind of like give some people some information about real estate, about just educating them on investments and stuff like this to kind of help our people. And so basically this is our show here on this day, every first Sunday of the month. So make sure y'all tune in, tell a friend to tune in here on Inspirational Love Hour, Hot 92.3. So JD, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know what you do.
Listen, Jeff Daniels, commercial real estate broker. Got into business back in 1998. So I'm excited about what's going on in the commercial industry. And so God has also blessed me with my own financial service company. So we land and provide real estate on the commercial side. So excited about it.
Yeah, man.
Some great things happening, man.
That's right. That's right. We on the move. So, okay. So, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the Selbys. How did you guys get your start?
Well, that's an interesting story, right?
Give us a little history.
Well, my husband's been building for 30 years.
Okay.
And I've been in and out of the real estate industry for probably the last 30 years.
Okay.
In and out of working as a real estate agent, but always my passion. And, we came together. We saw an opportunity. We came together 7 years ago. We saw an opportunity to leverage what was passionate for both of us, right? I think for us, just the idea of being able to do a custom offering in our community for our people at price points that not previously thought available. The idea that you don't have to be some super special wealthy person in order to have a custom home. I feel like that is what drove us, and so that's what we've been doing for the last 7 years. We've been building our business, Restored Vision, investment group and construction group, and now building supplies, right?
Yes. I think we actually start putting up I don't want to say the last 30 years I've been building from the ground up, other than me being what I call a super sub. 4 years ago is when I actually start developing from the ground up.
Got you.
Before then, I was a frame for Toll Brothers. Hardscape. This took different aspects of the sub portion of building. Worked for Toll Brothers, Anderson Homes, Ryan Homes, and majority of my experience was up north, in the Pennsylvania, Jersey, Delaware, Maryland area. And when I came down here and met her, which started in an Uber from the airport, she challenged me. She challenged me in the current place of my life that when I was thinking about what am I going to do now, and the whole idea, because I originally came to Georgia to semi-retire.
Gotcha.
Because I've been doing this for a while. But then some life changes, things happened to the point where it put me in the spot that I needed to go back. And so, but with my wife, one of the things that she said, go back to what you've been doing for years. I think it's if you're going to go back to that experience, but step it up for yourself.
Got you.
So she challenged me to, get the shovel and start from the ground.
That's good.
And be the whole builder, the whole developer. And that started about 4 years ago.
Okay. And
I say within 4 years, we're finishing off a 55 and over community, gated community in Jonesboro. We are now building a couple $1 million homes in the Brookhaven area.
Wow. Okay.
And then we have I call it our VIP portion of the work that we do for other people. Maybe 10-15% of our business is that we deal with other folk.
Okay.
That's another reason why. There's a reason why for that. Right. But we pick and choose to do that retail for something that we want to enjoy. Because if I can't enjoy what I'm doing, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So every dollar is not a good dollar.
I get that.
So if I'm gonna do something for someone and it's just going to bring heartache and pain, I'd rather not do it at all.
Yeah.
So we're so with that in mind, we're doing a project out in Lake Oconee or on a lake for a doctor, and then we're building a Balinese house for that same doctor up in the Madonna area.
Oh wow.
And then Oxford, a big house up in Oxford, Georgia, for a retired exec from New York that came down here. So it's just different stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's what we've been doing.
That's good. And that's been in the last 4 years.
On the last 4 years,
we've
probably put up about 15 homes.
Wow.
And that's moving. And we've been together for 7 years.
Been together for 7 years.
Started building 4 years ago.
Wow. That's so good. That's so good. All right, so JD.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the people, man. Let them know what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Oh man. Well, with me, it's right now in my life and my career. I was pre-retirement, like my friend said here, but I found a passion. Well, I've been doing commercial real estate the last 15 years.
Okay.
And so now I'm more of in that commercial real estate space.
Okay.
Where we work with investors and business owners, and we teach them how to buy cash flow properties.
Okay.
Apartment complexes, develop apartment complexes, townhome communities, all types of commercial real estate. So our focus is really from the cash flow perspective. So we get in, we underwrite deals, we also help you finance deals, and we teach people how to collaborate.
Okay.
Because my thing is, it's a season right now, I believe, of collaboration. We compete so long, we try to outdo each other so long, but once we understand that we can collaborate and come together and accomplish multiple deals and do multiple projects together, we can do more as a community.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing that I kind of teach, and we teach it from a basic level.
Okay.
From like a level of elementary school. So a lot of people think that to buy commercial real estate, I got to have all of this or all of that in place. Well, you don't necessarily have to have all of that, but what you do have to have is knowledge of the business, and you got to bring something to the table.
Something.
So you may be the person that have the credit, all right, but you may not have the experience. Well, you may have somebody else who has the experience, and so one of the toughest things though in that space is finding people you can work with.
Got you.
That you can work together with. But once you kind of accomplish that, we can do a lot. So that's kind of the mission that we're on. My team, I got about 20 agents that all do commercial real estate, and we're just trying to take over Georgia.
That's right.
And not only Georgia,
Yeah.
we're looking at other states that we're going into. We're licensed in many states, and so we're just looking to do a lot of projects right now, man. And a lot of it is development too.
Okay.
And that's a good thing. We have, this couple here today talking about development because land's not going anywhere. And we have people call us every day trying to sell land. People not buying land.
Wow.
People not buying land. So what we're telling them, okay, you have land, but nobody is buying this land. You've been trying to sell this land for 20 years.
Wow.
And it's not selling. But let us show you how to benefit from your land. And that's what's happening today. And
that's so good.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And I like being a part where everybody wins, right?
Yeah.
So that's my passion. That's my heart to see people. And there's nothing wrong with residential real estate. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you can buy an apartment complex, a 50-unit apartment complexes, and I've had investors just wave at me like I own 50 houses. Well, I can buy one 50-unit apartment complex, and we pretty much can cash flow the same. And
for one unit?
In one building. Okay. In one building, and it took you 50 closings, 50 appraisals, 50 inspections, 50, and I did one. So in commercial, it's more a duplication, and you just do the process over and over again, and you can achieve a lot more quicker in commercial because you can do multiple units.
Okay.
And so our events, man, our workshops are beneficial. We do them every month. Actually, this month in April, every Tuesday.
Okay.
We're going to be doing my partners, lending team, it's all of our team. We're going to be, coming together, and we're going to be inviting people to come who have opportunities, who have land, to just want to know what to do with it. And so that's what we want to do, man, just kind of educate. And then, too, one thing that we do, we show them how to get the funding.
Okay.
Because you can have a great idea, but you don't have access to the funding. So that kind of is an important part to it, and our funding team is going to be there. So we're just excited, man, to just bring positive information to the community so people can kind of, have more options.
Okay. That's so good, man. So listen, y'all, we about to get right back to it. We're going to go for a quick break right now. Here on your number one station for dark contemporary R&B, Hot 92.3. It's the Inspirational Love Hour. It is Money Talk Sunday. We'll be right back after these messages. Let's go. We're back here on your number one station for dark contemporary R&B, Hot 92.3. It's the Inspirational Love Hour. It's time to get back to it. It is Money Talk Sunday. And I'm telling y'all, we got some good information coming for you. We're about to get into it a little deeper. And we're going to start off again with Miss Selby. Mr. Selby, talk to us about some of the first steps that you would say to owning a home.
Well, first of all, I just think it's really cute that now you call me Mrs. Selby.
I had to fix it. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Formality is something else. I like.
Yeah, it's for the radio. Yeah.
No, but to me, the step one to becoming a homeowner is first believing that you can do it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And so many of us, we have limiting beliefs that because right now your credit isn't where it needs to be, because your income isn't where it needs to be, because you're coming out of a foreclosure, because you're coming from a bankruptcy, that the opportunity for home ownership has slipped through your fingers, right? So step one is just the belief that whatever it is, you can overcome that. I bought a house 3 years after a foreclosure. Wow. I was a single mother at 20 years old, owning my first house. I made about $8 an hour at that point. And so the idea and that you can't overcome whatever it is that you're going through to be able to own a home is kind of step number one. But I think beyond that, once you've, adopted the belief, I think it's the idea of being prepared for the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice means that if I'm preparing to buy a home, this is not a good time for me to go out and buy a new car.
That's
right?
good. Yeah.
This is not a good time for me to go out and spend a lot of money frivolously. There's tons of programs out there that will help you with down payment assistance, with closing help. There's all kinds of options that are available.
Okay.
But the key is that you've got to instill the discipline in yourself on the front end.
Yeah.
To start saving your pennies. Even if all the money that you need to bring to closing is $1,000, you also want to be able to show a prospective lender that you've got money in the bank to cover, at least a couple of months of mortgage.
Got you. Okay.
Should something happen with your job or someone gets sick. I mean, at the end of the day, it's first believing that you can do it, but then secondly, setting yourself up for success. And then the next step is not to go out and look for a house.
Okay.
The next step is to go out and find a real estate agent and or a lender that is someone you can work with. And why I say it's either or.
Okay.
The most important part of the buying process, the most difficult part of the buying process is the lending process. And so if you've got a solid real estate agent who has a relationship with lenders, that's a good place to start.
Okay.
Or if you yourself know a great lender that can help you get started. You want to have a lender take a look at where you are from a credit and income perspective.
Okay.
So that you can start to formulate a plan.
Gotcha.
It's more important that you do that than go out and say, oh, let me look at 100 houses. Find one that you're in love with and then figure out on the back end that you're not able to qualify for it. Working with a lender on the front end enables you to determine what you can afford, enables you to set a target to move towards as it relates to the home that you're going to buy, and it also helps you formulate a plan for what you need to do from a credit perspective or what you may need to do from an income perspective. But you always want to start with lending before you go out shopping for a house.
Lending before looking.
Lending before looking.
Lending before
Absolutely.
looking. I like that. Okay. So, Julian, the question for you is, why would you say build?
Depends on who you are, what you want.
Okay.
Okay. I tend to feel like one of the things when I come home, I'll sit on top of my hill before I pull in the driveway, and I just thank God for what I've seen.
That's good.
It lets me know that, and I feel, even especially if it was a hard day, I come home and say, this is the reason why.
Okay.
Okay. And it's inspiring. So it depends on what you want. If you're looking for just somewhere to live, get an apartment.
Got you.
Why invest in something that you don't really like? Okay. And so, because the thing is, if you don't really like it, what you're invested in is it's easier to let it go.
Okay.
Rather than not taking care of it. Okay, where it's not worth anything when you need it to, or go to sell it or anything, or you just it dictates how you work your life,
Gotcha.
on your job and things and stuff like that, because it's almost like the home is where you put your wife, if you're married, or spouse, your kids, and even yourself. It's your home.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
So, but that's why I said building is not for everybody.
That's right.
Okay. It's not. And that's why I said it depends on who you are and what you want.
Okay.
Okay. So, because building, another thing is building and being able to design. You're designing something that fits you and your family's needs.
Got you.
Compare that with going out and looking for a house. You're looking for something that you're willing to settle for and say, I can make this fit.
Because it's not going to be custom.
Because it's not
to
going
what
to
you
be
need.
custom.
Got
so
you.
you're just accepting it.
Okay.
You know what it is, and I can make this work.
Okay.
So.
But so much of it, though, is where are you in your journey?
Okay.
So, you may say, hey, my goal is to live in a contemporary home that's 5,000 square feet and has, a bedroom on the first floor, whatever it is your dream is. But what we always want to encourage new home buyers to do is to take the first step.
Okay.
So even if the first house is the house that winds up being something that you rent later, or even the arc that carries you over, the thing that you're able to sell this so that you have the capital to move to the next thing, right? I think a lot of choosing whether or not this is the time to build is a seasonal thing. What season are you in your life? And where are you in your home buying journey, right?
Got
So
you.
first home may not be a custom home, right?
Okay.
Second home may not be a custom home. As a matter of fact, the house that we live in right now is custom. It's my 6th home.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So it's about being willing to get in the game and understand how to buy and what it means to be a homeowner, and being willing to be patient and move up the reins. One of the things that Julian and I have found when we are building for folks is that a lot of people don't have the patience for a custom home. A custom home is not, it ain't gonna be delivered in 6 months.
Right.
You ain't gonna have that ready
Okay.
to go in sometimes even 9 months, right?
Right.
It's gonna take longer because we're doing something that's completely different.
Got
So
you.
absolutely, building is not for everyone, but it's also not for every time
Got
in
you.
your life.
Got you. So typically, what would you say? And I know it's a case by case basis, right? But what is it? What time span are you looking at for a custom build from concept to moving in?
Well, that's a tough question, and I'm gonna let Julian chime in. Let me.
It's again, it's what you're custom.
Uh-huh.
Then you have, what theme is it? Is it contemporary?
Okay.
Is it traditional?
Okay.
Is it farmhouse? Is it what you call it, craftsman?
Okay.
Because it's different materials being used.
Got you. Okay.
Some things you have to order.
Okay.
And
So you might be waiting on
and
that.
sometimes they'll tell you you ain't gonna be able to get this for a year.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you have certain things that's just like craftsman that you can go to your local box stores and get everything
Got
off
you.
the shelf.
Okay.
So that's number one. As far as timing, you can have a 3-bedroom rancher with just straight basic on a slab, and have that thing. I've seen them things get done in 60 days.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
After foundation.
Yeah.
Because it's really nothing. There's no bells and whistles. It's just a house.
Okay.
It's a house that you can live in, that passes inspection and everything you see in it, you can see in the store when you go down the street. From the lighting fixtures, the plumbing fixtures, everything is there.
Okay.
Okay. And so, but then you go super custom, you don't really want, and people spending that type of money, they don't want to see their stuff that they at Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of stuff that's from Italy, stuff from France. The uniqueness. All right, so a lot of times we call our house, it looks like from the inside, not a studio, but
A gallery.
A gallery. Like an art gallery.
Yeah.
Okay. And and it's intriguing. Me and Ken, when we did our house, it was basically built over all of our years of experience of seeing things that we like, from
that's nice.
California to New York to overseas, and we just picked different things that we like our bedroom looks like sandals, because I love sandals. When we got married at Sandals, and I was like, see, I can stay in this room and don't go nowhere else on this island.
And side note, he loves sandals. He loves sandals, people. You hear me?
And so I did the room.
We're gonna get you an endorsement. That's what we're gonna do.
Right?
with the in-suite, with the fireplace, with the patio, with the hot tub on the patio, with the pool right outside, with the waterfall, and I wanted everything to look like sandals. And so that's something that we built for over the years. When we hey, we ain't gonna do nothing after this, so this is gonna be one and done. So it took us 3 years to build that house.
Okay.
But that's a very, very custom house, and I think when you talk about from the point of concept to the point of completion, I would think no less than a year, because one of the things that a lot of buyers don't recognize is how long it takes just to go through the permitting process.
Got you.
That stuff's changed.
Permitting is painful, and it depends on your jurisdiction, right?
Okay.
So there are some jurisdictions, even here in Georgia, we build in several places in Georgia. There are some jurisdictions where we can run in and get a permit and it's done in a day. There are some jurisdictions where we're going to wrangle for the next 3 months.
Wow.
Just to get the permit. Or 6 months, or we've got to go to a variance hearing because we need to do something that's outside what's permitted
in that area,
in the building code for that area.
Got you.
And so it can, I would say that if I was planning to build something custom, even for something that's simple, I wouldn't count on less than a year.
Okay.
If your builder's able to deliver it sooner then that's awesome. God bless. But I would say that it really depends on a lot of factors, even beyond the house. Right?
Okay. That's
I
good.
think counseling.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think about that. Why do I need a counselor to get a house? If you're a first-time home builder,
okay,
and I'm just going by what we know
okay,
from our life, from my life.
Yeah.
If I could start all over and do it based on stuff that I've learned, my first house I would have built was a duplex.
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, if I know this ain't my one and done,
yeah,
and I want to build for something that might be 10 years from now, especially if I'm not married, doing a duplex where you can live on one side and the other side pays the mortgage allows you to save the money.
Absolutely.
For your dream house.
Yeah.
Or it allows you to save the money to like, hey, this is so good, let me do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're talking.
And so now you build another duplex. And guess what? You build another duplex. Now the house that the apartment that you're living in, now you're going to rent that. And it's paying the mortgage of the next duplex.
Yeah.
Now you got 2 units coming in free and clear.
That's good.
You see, I would have did that all day. That when I finally built our house, we didn't have no mortgage.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And so Jeff, let me ask you this. As far as like getting into commercial, right? But also, and then you all can touch on this as well. Talk to people about the importance of ownership, of owning a piece of property, of owning a home, something like that. Like, why is that so important? I know a lot of people rent, right? But just how much of a role does that play in trying to build generational wealth, trying to establish, like an investments type of thing?
Right. Well, ownership, as they say, ownership has its privileges. And so in real estate, when you own, you pretty much control the narrative.
Okay.
In certain instances.
Okay.
And so in commercial real estate, the purpose of ownership is to receive cash flow.
Okay.
So you purchase property as an owner, and you have a lender that you pay a payment to.
Okay.
But the excess of that goes to you for monthly income. Okay. And so you build on that month by month by month, and that establishes cash flow.
Got you.
For you. So it's important because if you're not the owner, you don't receive that.
Got you.
So that's the basic foundation of it. And then in some instances, if it's a business that you own, it might be best to lease the space.
Okay.
So it depends on the situation.
Okay.
So we look at all variables.
Okay.
In some situations, I had to tell the client, hey, listen, it's best for you to lease this space right now because we don't know what's going to happen 3 years from now.
Got you.
I don't know what's going to happen 5 years from now. That's just from a business perspective.
Okay.
Like a hair salon or somebody want a barber shop or a restaurant or something of that nature. We have to look at the whole scenario. But for as investing purposes, for someone who wants to invest in real estate, like your apartments, your shopping plazas, your mobile home parks, all those things, the benefits are tremendous.
Got you.
But you have to be selective in what you purchase.
Okay.
Like he was saying, you the counseling of it, like a first-time buyer going through a counseling class.
Okay.
I mean, the same thing you have to do in all aspects of real estate because you have to first understand
what you're getting into.
You got to understand what you get into. You got to understand the ins and outs because you got to understand the market. Like we was talking earlier, the market in Riverdale is different from the market in Brookhaven. So these are things as a buyer that you need to understand before you get into that investment.
Got it.
And so it's
Got
a
it.
lot of parts in that, but I'll say it's achievable. It's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's without saying something that can't happen. This is something that is happening every day,
Okay.
and you want to get in on that. You want to be the owner, you know, of it, because when you own it, and it may be you and somebody else.
Gotcha.
It may be you and a family member, or you and your spouse, which I think is the best partner you can have.
Gotcha.
And my
Gotcha.
wife, she's very supportive of what I do, and we do
Okay.
projects together.
Okay.
And it may be another couple.
Okay. Okay.
But the beautiful thing about it is, when you own, you can structure, but without the education of how to structure it, you're not going to properly receive the benefit of it. And you can easily make a bad investment in commercial real estate, because everything that looked pretty may not make the money.
Got you.
So you got to dig into that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
To know what you're really getting into. Some of the best investment properties that look the worst, but it's making
Because the cash flow made, or it is making.
It is making the cash flow.
Gotcha. But
So
it may be
you can-
repairs. It might be some other stuff going on
maybe
behind the
stuff
scenes.
but you can do that
Okay. Okay.
over a period of time. You can fix that.
Okay.
And then you can slightly increase the rents or whatever to
Okay.
increase the revenue over a period of time. But you got to really know the market,
Okay.
because you can easily make a bad decision in commercial real estate.
Got you. Got you. So this is a question I want to pose for the three of you, and it's kind of along the lines of what you kind of already mentioned regarding the counseling. Getting into your industry and what you've done, did you have a mentor, and how did that look?
Wow. Which one?
We'll start with you. Then
Oh
we'll go.
man!
Yeah.
So, quick story. I'm gonna be real quick. So, my mentor. Well, I had two
Okay.
when I first got into business.
So you can have more than one.
I can have more than one.
That's right. Okay.
One was light skinned and one was dark skinned.
There you go.
Like that.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, older and younger.
So we'll just leave it like that. Okay. So, but the light skinned one knew the business pretty well.
Okay.
The dark skinned he was an investor.
Okay.
And this was back in 1998, man.
Gotcha.
And for a year, I would ride around with him in a truck, just looking at what he was doing.
Okay.
Didn't really make money, but I saw how he was making moves.
Okay.
You know, just buying little properties. Back then, you know, you was walking around with bags of cash and buying properties that way.
Yeah.
So they was really cash buyers back then.
Yeah.
So, but I kind of saw how he did that, and he said, "Jeff, you need to get your license."
Okay.
So, because I want to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you doing all this, but he said, no, you get your real estate license.
Got you.
So that's when I got my real estate license, and
Okay.
so yeah, he mentored me, but it was only so much he would tell me. But my other mentor taught me in the street.
Okay.
How to really make moves out here in the real estate market. So
Got you.
it's very important.
Okay.
Very important.
Okay.
And I still had one of them. The dark skin was not living today, but the light skin one we always talk.
Okay.
So, but it's important to understand that you need to get with someone who has done it,
Got you.
not just somebody who
Talking
is
about it.
talking about
That's
it,
right.
or inviting you to something and you can't see no results of that. You need somebody who has done it.
Got you.
Not a fan.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, you don't need no one to just roar. You go to these meetings, everybody jumping up, doing cartwheels. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who's actually accomplished what you're trying to
achieve.
accomplish.
Got it.
And it's with that, it's just a few things that they can share with you that can help you get it. And once you get it, you just go on, and then eventually you help somebody else.
That's good. That's good. Julian, what you think about that mentorship?
Mentors. I had a few.
Okay.
In different levels of my life.
Okay.
I think they come in different levels of your life. My first one I would say was my father.
Okay.
My father never raised me.
Okay.
I started working with him. I lived in Camden, New Jersey. And I started working with him at the age of 12.
Wow. Okay.
In the summer, when school was out. My
Okay.
mother put me on the train. I go to South Carolina. And at 12 years old, he had me on top of roofs and nailing rafter joints on and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you, the first thing he had me do, he gave me an anvil. And he said, you see all them nails on the ground? Get them nails and straighten them up. I smashed my fingers to death.
Ooh.
Why? But it was, he taught me that when you see stuff, even on the ground, there's money.
That's good.
Stuff that you would walk over that people wouldn't pay no mind in this business, it's money.
Wow.
You account it on your bottom line.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because he didn't have nail guns and stuff back then. They would just bought them boxes of nails. So if that nail can straighten up something, he can use that nail. And that's less one box of nails that he have to,
Yeah.
So it was stuff like that. Another thing that he pointed out to me that he told me, and the thing is, he never told me he loved me.
Wow.
He taught me how to fish, how to build.
That's good.
He didn't believe in government saying pay child support. He told my mom at the time he's going to earn his keep.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I started going up there, and one of the things he said, don't ever get intimidated with what you see other people have. If it seems like that they have more than you, he says, they don't have more than you. They just know more than you. So whatever you need to do, get close to them to find out what they know.
That's good.
Okay? Don't ever plan to stay with them forever.
Yeah.
That's it.
You just want to know what they know. And then you move to the next one.
That's good.
And that was his thing of not me getting intimidated or never letting someone say, you're only good enough to do this.
Right. That's right.
Okay? He was building ranchers back then for $30,000 and 2 years of crops. Because everybody that he was building for, they had a lot of land. They had orchards, peaches, and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And they were living in a little tin shed, mobile, on stilts.
Okay.
Right.
So he was building ranchers, and for what they could afford. But I was like, what are you going to do with all the watermelons? And all that? So a typical day of working with him is up 5 in the morning, and you out to the job.
Wow.
At 4 o'clock, you're leaving at lunch. It was no McDonald's or nothing. It was always something out of somebody's farm.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll never forget that time he got that big watermelon, chopped it in half with a machete, and said, here's lunch.
Wow.
This was completely different than what I was used to.
So you was a vegan before that was a thing.
It was like cucumbers. Here you go. Wash them things off. Just eat the cucumber.
That's
like,
lunch.
it's just and then we leave and we get back to the truck and we start going through. I'll never forget my first time. We going through people's fields. He said, get back to the truck, fill up them baskets. And I'm just filling baskets, pulling peaches.
Wow.
Or pulling okra. And then we'll ride by. He had little kids. You can work for my father. He'll pay you $5. But the only way that you can work for him, the $5 an hour that you get, and that was more higher than minimum wage at that time. You have to give $3 to go to your savings account.
Wow.
And $2 you keep.
Teaching you that then.
And so you had kids my age, 8, whatever, they after school, they out there selling fruit or selling vegetables.
That's so good.
So he had all these stands. So now we rolling by these, and now you go ahead and distribute. I didn't know he was teaching me the thing of business.
And he's teaching you multiple strings.
And he's strings.
And how to be a vegan.
So then last
Can't forget that part.
We finally get home. One thing is you was not allowed to watch TV until 8 o'clock, and it was only on for an hour.
Wow.
You cannot be in that house and don't have a job. I'm talking about during the summertime when there's no school. You can't, you wasn't watching no TV.
These kids go crazy.
And so we eat, and I'm figuring that's the end of the day. And next thing you know, all right, boy, let's go. It was always boy. I was like, what are we doing now? But I was like, he was big. His hands was huge.
Yeah.
We go out to the garage, and we're pulling out these Black & Decker vacuum cleaners that look like lawnmowers, putting them on the trailer. Then we go down the road, beep the horn, hear these teenagers, high school boys coming out. They jumping in the truck. So my dad had contracts with strip malls that they would pay him $200 a month each. All they need to do is put their trash out. The contract was he keeps the parking lot clean, He takes their trash and cuts the grass.
Wow.
There was a strip mall of maybe 20 stores, each $200 each.
Wow.
The teenagers was out there because they didn't have the vehicles with the vacuums back then.
Yeah.
And they were sucking up the trash.
Wow.
Okay, on the streets, emptying out the cans, putting everything in the dumpster, and we would be doing that till 12, 1 o'clock at night. And then start the day. 3 different things.
Wow. So you seen entrepreneurship from the jump.
I hated it at that point. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
I was there from 2 months.
Wow.
During the school year. During the break.
Yeah.
That's good.
When I came home, he gave me an envelope, said, don't open it till you get to your mother. Got home, and now my mom, my mom would go to the consignment stores and clothes and all, and I never complained because it was some nice stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I got there, I couldn't wait to open that envelope. And so it was open the envelope was one envelope. He says, this is a year of the $30 a month child support was.
Right.
Oh, there you go. The other envelope was mine. I opened that envelope. It was like $2,500.
Wow.
For 2 months.
Wow.
That was a lot of money in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay, in 1982.
Yeah.
And I was like,
an entrepreneur was born.
That part.
I was like,
that part.
First thing I said, I can get me the belt buckle with my initials on them. My members only jacket.
Members only. I remember that.
With the fat shoestrings and all. I could not wait to go to school. But I had that concept like, I had my own money.
That's
I never
good.
could get that members only jacket.
Never got it. We're gonna get you one. We're gonna get you a hot 92.3 one.
Yeah. Clean some streets, man.
I was, but that's what happened.
For real.
Man,
golly, man.
Ever since then, I could not wait for school to end.
I know that's right.
I was trying to convince him, let me come down there doing.
You like, let's do that. I can go to school.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And that's where it happened.
Wow.
So funny. And it's so funny how your parents can be such an influence on your life. You know?
Yeah.
My daddy wasn't wasn't an entrepreneur. He didn't build houses. There were no fruit stands. But definitely my parents were my first mentors. I remember riding the car with him. And we were in Washington, D.C. You know, it's where I grew up, right outside Washington, D.C. And we're riding in the car. And he's showing me, he points to this truck.
Okay.
Going into a neighborhood, a public assistance neighborhood.
Okay.
And he says to me, he says, you see that? I said, what? He was like, how is it that he's driving a Yukon into the projects?
Wow.
Make that make sense.
Make it make sense.
And so he taught me from that point on about the importance of home ownership. And when I became a 20-year-old single mother, the first thing that my mother wanted to do was to make sure that I never was in a position of being evicted.
Wow.
Again, because I had been from my apartment.
Wow.
And so she opened the door. And so for me, home ownership was just that was a rite of passage.
They instilled that in you.
They instilled that in me when I was a little kid. So while I wasn't out there selling fruit, there was no question that I was going to always own the home that I lived in.
That's right.
So when I had a foreclosure and lost my house, I thought I was just going to crumble because I had to rent.
Yeah.
But you know, it was again part of my testimony, an opportunity to show how God brought me back from that.
That's so good.
You know, it's so amazing that the impact that your parents can have and how, you know, what they teach you when you're young can shape your entire life, you know. And so that still plays in my head. And I'm always talking to young people about the importance of not sinking your money into something that provides no return, like cars.
Assets over liabilities.
Assets over liabilities.
Assets over liabilities.
Why is it easier, especially for our community? I don't care how bad your credit is. It's easier for you to get a car than a house. Those lending institutions make billions off of reselling cars that they done took away.
Absolutely.
Repoed. 3, 4, 5, and they get them cars junkers out right from the auction.
Oh yeah.
And then they sell that thing 3, 4, 5 times until they have to junk it. They'll make $50,000, $70,000 on something that they picked up from the auction for $5, and because people don't have the credit.
And one thing that because I used to have my junior license, right? That means you can go to the auction, but with the rep, right? So I had a mentor in that, right, when I was doing that. And one thing I learned that we as a people did different than the other people did is we always save our money up and then go to the auction. So we might have $5,000, $10,000. We'll go buy a couple little beaters, $1,500, $2,000. and I found out what they were doing. I'm like, how do they have all these lots? Well, a lot of people, what they do is they get a line of credit with the auction location, right? Manheim or wherever it may be, right? So they may give them $30,000 based off of their credit. And what they do is these buy here, pay here's. How the buy here, pay here works is you, so say, JD, you come get a car from me, right? Let's just do simple numbers. I pay $5,000 for the car, right? I sell it to you for let's say $12,000, right? So that's $7,000 to the good. So what happened is, for you to do a buy here, pay here with me, I might tell you I need $5,000 down, right? I'm free and clear. This is the next level though. I'll take that $5,000, pay that back to the auction, right? For that I've took out on the loan. That's $7,000 to the good. The bank will then buy that note because I have your signature, showing that you're going to pay that monthly. They'll handle the repo. They'll handle everything. They'll give me another $5,000. Now I done made 10. They'll chase you for the other 2 plus the interest, and you keep it moving.
Yep, and you have to wonder why it is. It feels like the system is set up so that we're not in a position of having generational wealth.
Absolutely.
Right? We're going to open the door and enable you to get a loan at 24% interest so you can drive some car that you want to drive. But there's no way in the world we're going to show the same grace when you come trying to buy a house. Right?
We'll make it difficult.
We're going to make it difficult, right? As hard as it can be. And so we have got to do a better job of educating our community about the importance of home ownership, about the importance of having something to pass down to your kids. A lot of what we leave from a legacy perspective to give our kids a hand up starts with owning a home.
That's good.
And I don't care. You can leave your kids a car.
Yeah.
But that cars they depreciate. They cost you more than what they're ever worth. I mean, we're not doing a good job of making sure that our community understands the benefits of home ownership, even from a tax perspective, right? And how the tax benefit of being able to write off interest. I mean, there is so much that we have not prepared our kids to do because we're not educating them and helping them to understand why it is so important that you own the home
That's good.
Now that's a counselor agent you heard.
Okay.
So my point is, every agent's not a good agent. Right? You can get an agent that only want to check.
Yeah.
They'll tell you what you want to hear. They even put you in a bad deal.
And know it's bad.
Because all they want
is that check.
Is a check.
Wow.
Whereas you get a agent that is also a counselor that gets to know who you are,
that loves
and
God,
cares,
throw that
and
part
that
in there.
So
there's morals there.
Yes, that has a relationship with the Lord. So they want to make sure everything's done in decency and in order. Don't want to put you in something that you're going to lose. See, a good agent want to see you get something, love it, and keep it. Okay, and also prepare for that to be an asset that you can use for the future.
That's good.
Okay, so that's very important, is finding an agent, one who has character, who cares about you, okay, more than a check, all right, and is going to tell you the truth.
That's good.
Because sometimes a good agent may say, it will be, you can get something now, but the chances on you losing it by getting it now is a whole lot higher that if you just wait on a year, call this lender here, he has a credit repair service.
Got you.
Go through that system so that therefore your interest rate can be
lower.
4 or 5% or whatever it is, then 15, 16%. And that's a good agent because they ain't getting no check now.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Okay. That's good. That's so good. Yeah, listen, we talking some good stuff, y'all. We talking real good. So, we're going to keep it going. And let me see. What else do I got for you guys? Well, we just kind of tapped into how important is God in your life and in your business? How does that play a role?
That's the foundation, man.
Yeah.
If the Lord don't build the house, the workers, worketh in vain. It's if he's not at the foundation of it, it's like she said, it's destined to fall. So, and I tell people that. Yeah. You doing this business plan, but make sure in your business plan that you have something to do with that. Yeah. With your relationship with him, because that's where everything starts from, man. Okay. And that's like very important. Yeah. To have that as part of your venture. Because see, sometimes And I've had this happen. I've been in meetings and the Lord say, "This is not it."
Mm.
See, that's
So God will step in and that
man.
discernment, the Holy Spirit to tell you,
Absolutely.
that ain't
this,
it.
this is not it.
Mm.
Absolutely.
You know, and so without that relationship, you won't have that voice or that that extra support.
Got you.
That's the support,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's going to be a no
Mm.
or not now
Yeah.
or maybe later,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason why that's important.
Got
to
you.
me. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is you got to be okay with the no.
you got to be okay with the no.
Got you.
Because it's all about
Grateful
the
for
timing.
the no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Grateful
Grateful
for the no.
for the
That's
no.
good.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because what if I avoided? What if I avoided
Thank you.
because of that no?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that Julian says all the time is that every dollar is not a good dollar.
It's not a good dollar.
It's not worth it, and I feel that we have recognized that walking into deals that weren't good, partnering with people we shouldn't have partnered with,
Amen.
allowing our ambitions to get ahead of our prayers,
Exactly.
right? So it's got to be that if I'm walking into something, I am praying my way through it.
That's good.
So
That's
that I can
good.
hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is actually the differentiator of our
Exactly.
business, right? It's the reason why we can start building 4 years ago, right, and have accomplished all that we've done. It's
it.
because the Holy Spirit becomes the differentiator. He's the one that's in the back orchestrating and warning and guiding, right? So if you check your faith at the door
Yeah.
of your company, you run the risk of complete failure. I just cannot imagine what we would have done, and especially in the times where we didn't listen, how he still came through
Wow.
and helped us get beyond that poor decision, right?
That's good.
So,
That's so good.
And then it gives you favor.
he does indeed.
So favor is something that, like, when you're doing something, you may not have everything, but then what you need come to you.
Mm.
It
Got
spends
you.
better than money.
It spends better than money.
Favor
Wow.
spends better than money.
Spends better
That's
than
so
money,
good.
man. That's why it's important, because it's like this. It's like in the world we in, it's like there's somebody assigned for everybody. I really believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's resources.
Mm-hmm.
So what God does is put you with the right resources
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to help you get to where you're trying to go. Because a lot of times you may not have everything you need
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
to do what you're trying to do. But then here comes one resource, here's come another resource.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you move forward without everything. Now you're beginning to have what you need to move forward
Mm.
to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So
Yeah.
that's the importance
That is such truth.
That's good.
Absolutely.
of that. Because everybody thinks I got to have everything
Yeah.
before I take a step.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes your faith got to kick in.
That's right. That's right.
And you gotta make a move, and then the resources that you need.
Mm-hmm.
And I told somebody yesterday, I said, I don't see how I'm gonna help you, but I was told to help you,
Wow.
and I told my team we're gonna help this person,
Mm.
and I don't know how we're gonna help them,
Uh-huh.
but I know I got the resource to help them,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're gonna find that resource.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, so we ain't got nothing to worry about.
Wow.
We just got to find the right resource,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's a situation where you don't see how it's gonna happen.
Mm.
See, it's easy to go into something and just see, okay, I can
You can
do
see
this,
it.
do this, and
Yeah.
yeah, it happened. But now, some situations you don't see how you don't see how the way it's going to be made.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's somebody out here that can help. The
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where your faith kicks in, right? Right, when you know you need to take a step, but you can't see the whole
You
pathway.
see the whole way, man.
Yeah.
Right, and so
Yeah.
that's it's your willingness to take that first step,
Take that first
to
step.
trust God that if I step out here, He's gonna meet me there with what
gonna
I
meet me
need,
there.
right? And
That's
and
it.
that is what separates people who are successful entrepreneurs, people who achieve the things that were intended for their
Yep.
life, and those that don't. Whether or not you're willing to really take that first step of faith, not knowing exactly where it's going.
Mm.
Trust God that if I step out here and don't know where the next step is coming from, don't know where the next dollar is coming from, don't know where the next customer is coming from, can I trust God to take that first step?
That's so
Anyway.
good.
So the Proverbs, they have, my people perish for their lack of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Lack of
Uh-huh.
knowledge. That's
And
it.
so I was telling a young man there was, if you want to invest, it was like, how much money, do you need? And I was told him, I said, the knowledge is more important than money.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have the money, but with no knowledge, and that money's gone.
Mm. Got you.
Okay, I mean, somebody, a quick slick come, and it's really gone.
Can get you. Yeah.
But that whole passage, this is the thing, the faith that we walk is exactly what it is. It's a faith. It's not a religion.
Mm-hmm.
God's word is filled with perplexities
Mhm.
and purposes and precepts and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it also orders your steps
That's right.
and enable you to actually see things,
Mm-hmm.
discernment before it happens. And if it doesn't measure up according to the word, then you don't want nothing to do with it.
Mm.
And so the thing is of having that knowledge over, that's why I said you need to understand what you're getting into, to
Yeah,
have sound
absolutely.
counsel
Yeah.
before what you're getting into. But having that knowledge and using that word the way, like I said, it's not a religion because it is no different than any other religion.
Mm-hmm.
But it is to me, that word is it is our faith.
Mhm.
I tell people I don't have religion, I have a faith
Mhm.
in Christ alone.
That's right.
It's a breathing, living organism
Mm-hmm.
within me.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we trust it, one thing is going to happen. It is an uncomfortable feeling.
Mm.
Right.
Because the more you trust it and it makes you uncomfortable, that's that flesh battle.
Wow.
It's a way of telling you that ain't a good deal,
Mm.
or that ain't a good person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, because you're depending on it for direction.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it says the doors are open.
Yeah.
No one can close, and
Yeah.
the ones are shut don't
No man
mean
can
you go
open.
kick them down.
That's
Don't
right.
Kick it down.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just have enough
Leave it alone.
faith
What
to
did
walk
he say
on.
about the no?
Yes.
Thank God for the no.
Thank God for the
To
no.
walk on by.
That's right.
To leave it.
That's
and,
right.
and don't feel like you're missing something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
See,
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing that the enemy does, especially in our community, is this notion to make us feel that we're missing something. We got to have it now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all with the
Yeah.
flesh.
Yep. Yep.
And it's not. I am a living witness.
Mm.
If I took this, what I'm telling you now,
Yeah.
I would end up being $1 million richer today.
Wow.
But so many people were attracted to, and it's something, when the Lord has anointed you
Uh-huh.
for such a thing,
Uh-huh.
everybody sees it,
That's right.
even the enemy.
Oh, yeah.
See it.
And if they can take advantage of it, they will.
Mm-hmm.
With smiles on their face, pats on your back, you're the greatest. And the thing is, all they want to do is be one big leech
Yep.
underneath
watch
your clothes, and you don't even see it.
That's right.
And as hard as you work, they are sucking you dry.
That's right.
I just so busy trying to impress.
Yeah.
I didn't see that for years.
Wow.
Years.
Wow.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it's such an interesting balance between having the faith to take the step
Mm-hmm.
and then knowing when it's time to wait and walk in a
Oh,
season
that's so
of
good.
patience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
People got to
So-
learn it too.
So it's I feel like if you are desperately trying to move ahead and make something happen,
Mm-hmm.
that you are opening the door to fail.
Exactly.
But then likewise, if you're going to be stuck in the same place and don't move until you can see every step along the journey, you're also destined to fail because
That's right.
you're not going to move forward. So
That's right.
it is that balance of knowing when it is time to take a step and move forward and when it is time to wait on the Lord and hold
That's
your
right.
peace.
That's it.
That's why you got to seek him first.
Yes, you do.
Seek God first. And order your steps and tell you what you need to do. So listen, y'all. I don't know about y'all out there listening in Radio Land, but I done soaked up a lot of knowledge right now. I got my mentors in the building, right? So we're gonna get to it, y'all. We're gonna be right back here on the number one station for adult contemporary R&B, Hot 92.3, the Inspirational Love Hour. We're gonna come back. Let them give you how you can actually get in contact with them, what they got going on, what's coming up, and we're gonna do that here on the Inspirational Love Hour right after this.
Could it be? I think I found the one for me. Trying not to fall in love so fast.
All right, y'all, we're back here live on your number one station for adult contemporary R&B, Hot 92.3. It's the Inspirational Love Hour. Listen, we done had a good time. We here for a good time, not a long time. We're going to go ahead and bring it back and run it back, and we're going to do it again another time. But before we get out of here today, I got one more question I want to pose to you all. And then another thing, just give them also how they can get a hold of you. How they can get a hold of you, and we're going to go out like that. You guys can always find me at I am Jordan Shade on Instagram, on my website jordanshade.com, the Inspirational Love Hour, and also on Hot 92.3 on the website. You'll be able to catch the podcast right after this. Is going to be, they go hot923.com. That's HOTT923.com. Go to podcast, and the podcast, look for the Inspirational Love Hour. So we're going to start out with JD. How can the people get a hold of you and what you got going on?
All right, so basically you can reach me on IG at the Dealmakers Group.
Okay.
Follow us there. My contact number is 404-246-5850. We have a lot coming up. If you're in town this week, come join us on Tuesday at Sugar Plums down on the south side of Atlanta.
Okay.
Right across from Rick Ross Mansion down there. So
Gotcha.
we're going to be down there. Just give a call and let us know. We want to go over deals.
Okay.
We want to just kind of give back to the community. So the topic of it is bring your deals.
Bring your deals.
Whatever you have.
Okay.
Bring it. You got land, you want to find something to do with it. You got property you want to sell. If you got a project you want to do, just bring your opportunity, and we're going to be there to show you how to help you get it done.
Now, what time is that Tuesday?
That's going to be 7 p.m.
7 p.m. at Sugar Plums.
Sugar Plum Events,
Okay.
south side of Atlanta.
Okay. That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, Mrs. Selby.
Well, I'm about the easiest person on earth to find. You can find me on all manner of social media. On IG, you find me under Cam's Jewel, but you also find us together on our Restoring Selby IG. You can also find us on Facebook, Restored Vision Building and Development. And our email address is restoredvisionconstruction.com. So restoredvisionconstruction.com. And that's the website.
Yeah,
I said email address. My bad. That's the website. And then as far as what we're working on right now, we've got a number of properties available in Spivey Village down in Jonesboro. In a gated community for 55 plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very close to Lake Spivey. Okay. And then we're working on 2 projects. You can check out the one that's going to be ready the soonest is 2740 Drew Valley Road. That's actually on the market now.
Okay.
We're coming to the end of construction on that, and we're going to be building a couple of other properties in Brookhaven. So you want to connect with us if you're looking for a luxury custom home. You definitely want to check us out in Brookhaven. And if you are in that 55 plus community and you're looking for something that is better than some track build cookie cutter property, you can check us out there check us out in Jonesboro. So we're working on a number of things. And hey, if you've got a vision of something you want to do, we're in the business of restoring visions.
That's good.
So give us a holler and we'll see what we can do with it.
That's so good. That's good for you. Okay, well, we're gonna get you to talk at least one more time now. So what advice do you have for younger people? If you can talk, give me 2 minutes or less of what you would tell to your younger self. Your younger self.
In everything that you do, you want to seek the Lord first.
Okay.
And then you want to seek sound counseling.
That's good.
For whatever, whatever venture you're going to do, especially in real estate.
Yeah.
Don't look for anyone. I mean, if it's too fast, it's too fast for you. Don't do anything without a full understanding of the pros and the cons.
Okay.
And always get 2 opinions.
Okay, got it.
2 or more opinions.
Get 2 or more opinions.
There's wisdom in the multitude of counselors.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. That's good. What would you say, JD?
Oh man, it's hard to come behind that, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the start of it. But I would just add to be sensitive to time.
Okay.
Because everything is timing. You can have the right idea at the wrong time. You can build the right property at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Or you can buy the right investment at the wrong time. So to add, because I believe what he said is the initial step, but to add to that, just be sensitive to time. We're so aggressive and we like things. This generation want it now.
Yep. Microwave.
Everything's quick. Sometimes success don't happen like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay to learn. I lost. See, I can talk a whole another hour about my journey.
Wow.
Starting. Everybody sees success, but no, I lost when I first started. But the loss was learning.
Okay.
I learned in that. So it's important to, like we said, seek counseling, get an understanding of what you're getting into. Don't just get into something because it looks good. Know what you're getting into.
Got you.
And be sure you have the right team.
Okay. Got it.
That's good
That's so
stuff.
good.
Well,
Yeah. Close us on out. What
I'll
do you
bring
think?
us through. You know, I was a single mother from the time I was 20 years old. And so if I were talking to myself, I would send a message to single moms, right? And I would tell you to dream bigger, to believe bigger, to believe beyond what your circumstances stay right now. Yes, my mother and helped me buy my first house. Y'all, it was in the hood, right?
Right.
They had somebody arrest somebody in my backyard.
Wow.
Right? And today I live in what most people would consider to be an estate.
Right.
You know, so at that time, I couldn't see myself beyond where I was. But I will tell you that God restored my vision.
That's good.
So I want to challenge single mothers who are out there to go chase down the opportunities that you felt like had slipped through your fingers because you made a mistake, because you've got your hands full with these kids. Don't give up on your dreams, right? God is still in the business of miracles and making dreams come true. You can own a home. You can own multiple homes. There's so many things that you can do. So I guess what I would tell my younger self is to dream bigger, believe bigger, trust God, and know that where you are today, where you start, you know, because the Bible says that He rejoices in small beginnings. Where you start is never where you end. So keep going.
That's so good. That's so good. Listen, y'all, I don't know if y'all have, but I learned a whole bunch today. And, you know, so this is how we're going to do this. You know, I have the beginning of the show affirmations. We got the end of the show affirmations, because I believe wholeheartedly in speaking what you seek till you see what you say. Right. So go ahead and spit it out, get it out, and write it down, make it plain. But this is how we end the show every time. If you guys can repeat after me one last time, it goes like this: I will live and not die.
I will live and not die.
I will win and not lose.
I will win and not lose.
I will walk and not faint.
I will walk and not faint.
And I will love and not hate.
I will love and not hate.
Listen, I appreciate y'all, every last one of you guys, for coming in on the show today. This has been the Inspirational Love Hour. Shout out to Directed by Midwest, who's in the building filming for us, y'all. This will be on Inspirational Love Hour on our YouTube. Shout out to Cluster Radio Media, who is our parent company. Hot 92.3 is the Inspirational Love Hour. The ladies that are on the show with me, listen, I miss y'all. We'll be back live next week, me and the full crew here. And don't forget, never play yourself, pray yourself.
I'd like to take a minute just to tell you that I love you, so I will. Your love, I can't forget it. Like Uncle Charlie said, it give me chills. I can't forget the fact that you're my heart, I wanna cuff you. The sweetest girl I know, and you was right under my nose.